Welcome to GenBlend, a podcast about bridging the generational gap within marketing, hosted by Infuze.
Hey guys, it's Stacey Devine with Infuze Marketing. I'm the baby boomer in our group, as I mentioned numerous times. And today we have our little Jordan Webb.
Hi, Stacey.
And Jordan came to us as an intern from Sac State.
I did. I was fresh out of college and joined your guys' crew my summer after college. So I was literally right out of college. I was a baby.
And we snagged her after that. We offered her a full-time opportunity. So now, poor thing, she's stuck with us.
Poor me. It's so hard.
So one of the reasons I have Jordan with us today is because I want people to better understand why an internship is really important, especially in a marketing firm. We started an intern program about 9 years ago. And the only reason we did it was just to invite summer interns in. And what I heard from people was, oh, my last internship, I didn't have to do any of this. And we throw people in from day one. We literally don't even put a life jacket on them, and we throw them into the deep end of the pool and we say, good luck to you. And so what I want Jordan to talk about a little bit is what was good about that for you as an intern?
I would definitely say being new to marketing completely, I had no experience in marketing, and just diving straight in to tasks and projects and getting to work with the account managers, I learned so much from the ground up. And I value that I was able to start my marketing experience with Infuze because since we are small, everyone works together. We're able to ask questions. I can jump into Stacey's office and Stacey, what does this mean? Stephanie, our marketing manager, explained fonts and colors and things that I was like, is this really a big deal? And it was. It's huge. Being an intern for getting full-time, I was able to experience all of the kind of tasky groundwork things that are necessary, especially my position now when I evolved into an account coordinator, that truly helped me. And I got that from being an intern.
And don't you think that it also helps you decide if that's really what you want to do and the industry you want to be in? Because your degree is in business, right?
Organizational communications.
Oh, organizational communications.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
Well, that sounds super, super impressive to me. But within that, you don't necessarily know where you want to work or what you want to do you?
No. Right out of college, you just get thrown out. Okay, here's your degree. Good luck. Find something, And so when I was in college, I took multiple internships. I did a PR one and then I did an event one. And I really I loved them, but I didn't connect with them. I wanted to find another avenue and I went with marketing. I just felt like being an intern, you learn, like I said earlier, all the key things that you don't necessarily learn in school. School doesn't prep you for the real world, honestly. It's just a task thing.
And they have career centers. So they give you the broad picture, I think. I think they do what they're supposed to do, which is teach you how to write a resume or they try to give you as much guidance as they can, but they got thousands of people. So it really does come down to, wouldn't you agree, you. It comes down to you.
Yes.
And you getting out there and getting an internship to give yourself exposure to the various industries and opportunities are out there. Whereas when I was young, the opportunities were really minimal. People were directing us to be secretaries, administrative people, or teachers. There's very few female engineers. There certainly wasn't any female CEOs in the world. Marketing was pretty much left up to the madmen of the world. That's why they call it mad men and not mad men and women, by the way. But today, you guys have opportunities. They're just crazy. They're so vast. The schools aren't necessarily giving you those thousands of opportunities, and so it really does become your responsibility. So when you got interviewed for the internship, not even for a full-time position here, what did we do?
My interview was called the Intern Gauntlet, and I got to meet Stacey and the entire Infuze company at Northridge Country Club. But little did I know it was going to be me and another potential candidate interviewing against each other in front of the entire company. And it was the scariest thing of my life. Walking in, number one, not knowing it's a dual interview. And then I actually ended up knowing the girl. She was in my sorority. So you can imagine how that felt.
We're so mean.
Oh my God.
We're so mean. But you want to get somebody to rise to the occasion, put them up against their competitor. Seriously, it was so great.
I actually, now thinking back on it, I liked it. I didn't enjoy it at the time because it was intense. But I was able to, it almost pushed me more, okay, that's how she's kind of going out the interview. This is how I'm going to take my interview and go this way. I think it helped me, honestly.
You were both great candidates for sure, but you were nervous. Weren't you nervous?
Interviews already scare me. And so being in front of 6 people staring at you along with being put up against your competition, it was intense.
It was a tough decision. We pretty much chose Jordan because she had a better blouse. That's not true. That's not true. I'm being sarcastic, but I think the gist of it was that we do a varied method of interviews. Where our specialty is when we interview people is we really try to make them feel comfortable. So, one of us will joke a little bit, and one of us will ask a serious question, and one of us will ask a lighthearted question. And inevitably, what we come to the conclusion of is we can get a pretty full vision of the candidate and whether they want to continue forward with us. Because our internships here are not just to give someone something to put on their resume. We look at our interns very differently in the fact that we want them to stay on for the long haul. Because if we're going to put that energy into them for 2, 3, 4 months, we want them to get groomed enough to want to stay. So what were some of the questions you feel are important that an intern should ask in an interview?
Before you go to an interview, you need to research the company, know what they do. I feel like knowing their clients, it just gives you brownie points. Now looking back on my interview, I wish I would have asked more like the intern process. What am I going to do once I get there? How does that work? How do I incorporate into the company? Long-term goals, asking about the culture. How does Infuze work? You need to look into, if you're thinking an internship, especially with Infuze, is going to be long-term, asking questions that will affect you later on, So okay, if I were to get full-time, how am I going to transition? Do I have a mentor? Do I shadow someone? Do I just get thrown into an account and, okay, good luck? Asking those long-term questions rather than kind of in the moment questions like, oh, do I get my own desk? Little things which I hope no one would ask like that. But
people do ask that, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't do it, people.
Yeah, don't do it.
Presenting to the employer that you've done your research, that you are fully invested in wanting to be a part of the company. Mm-hmm. You need to come prepared.
Mm-hmm. I think Jordan points out something really good that I was going to touch base on, but it's a company culture. And the company culture, that term, wasn't really used a lot when I was coming up through the ranks. I didn't do an internship, but just in general, even when I have worked for large corporations who have gone out and recruited people from college and put them through an internship program, the company culture was never discussed. And don't you think it's really important now that you're a full-time employee?
Oh, for sure. It reflects on how everyone works together and just the everyday vibe that, especially in a marketing firm, you need. You need to all kind of just mesh together. And I think that's huge.
And you did an internship for a pretty large organization with a lot of moving parts in your event planning internship.
I did.
And pretty different, huh?
Complete polar opposite, honestly. Yeah. It was more of the corporate environment. It was cutthroat. Honestly, the culture was not the greatest. You didn't feel really secure in your everyday role. As to here, I feel like Infuze is a family. It is nicer that we are a company of 10, so that does play a huge role in it. But you can just see everyday work ethics, how they're different. How everyone is just, at my previous company, I need to meet these numbers so I can get paid. In our company culture at Infuze Marketing, it's all about making the client happy, meeting their goals. It was completely different, and I'm thankful that I got to see the two extremes, especially being here now.
So you would recommend an internship to other people coming straight out of college or even people in college, like your junior year? Would you recommend that?
Yes, I definitely think you need to just know what you want to do. You don't want to graduate college and be like, I have no experience. I worked at a clothing store. What do I do now? You need to find out what you're good at, what you don't like. You need to fail and kind of figure out what avenue you want to take after college. And I definitely recommend getting as many internships in college. You learn, like you said, there's so many opportunities out there, especially in Sacramento. You just need to be willing and want to go and find them. They're not going to come to you. So you have to put in that extra effort to find what you want and see what you're interested in.
And so it may seem funny that on a marketing podcast, we're going to have this conversation about internships, but there's always a method to my madness. And one of our entities is called Loop Workshops. And Loop Workshops has a series that is getting ready to start called the College Series. We are in no way trying to take away from what the colleges currently do. We're simply trying to add to it because college can only do so much. They only have so much bandwidth, but we're a private entity who's, I think, done a real good job in recruiting and marketing. And also because I spent so many years in large corporate environments, recruiting and hiring and firing. And so I think it's a real good experience and exposure for us to go into the college environment. So students who are interested in learning how to maybe present yourself slightly different, or letting us help you maybe enhance your resume or enhance your interview process. But at the end of the series, which I believe is 3 courses, it's 3 courses, and we're going to do a mock interview with major leaders within the Sacramento and surroundings environment. And that could be CEOs from companies. It just depends on who we line up for any given day, or executive management from big companies, small companies, all throughout the region. So I think it's really important for you to understand that that is available to you. It's coming up April 13th, 14th, and 20th. So I just want you all to be aware of that. It's under our Loop workshops. And we hope that maybe some of the college students are listening to this podcast and that you can get a great idea of how to interview with, especially a marketing firm, because I have a bunch of things I could say as well. Jordan, do you have anything else you want to add?
Definitely recommend getting an internship because it helps you in the end, in the long term, getting a job, not falling flat on your face after graduation and just being like, what do I do now?
Yeah, I totally agree. And even after college, folks, don't forget that even after college, there are opportunities to work in companies as an intern to get your foot in the door. So all that being said, thanks so much for spending time with us. Until next time.
Check out Infuze at infusemarketing.com. And our subsidiaries DesignFix, GoPresso, Pixnpost, and Sammy Social. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.